Hello and welcome to the Bobby Moore stand. So it's Thursday night. Got Spurs coming to party in a couple of days' time. I just spat all over me, Mike. My God, loose lips. Evening, Martin. Evening, Chris.
Good evening.
How you doing?
I'm all right, thank you very much. How are you? Apart from a gobbing everywhere in your studio.
Did you see that? Did it come through the camera?
It did. It nearly got me in the eye, mate. You know, it's disgusting.
I know, it's terrible.
Absolutely vile. Sort it out.
Having loose lips like this is just loose lips sink ships. Martin, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Rushing about as normal to get ready for the beginning of the show, but here we are. Looking forward to Spurs.
Yeah, everyone's looking forward to Spurs. It's our cup final, isn't it? Apparently.
Oh yeah, apparently, yeah. I see someone saying something about it's our cup final and we're doing like begging for tickets and everything. They obviously don't realise what's going on at the club.
I know they're nothing if not sure of themselves, Spurs. I mean, it's funny, but we're going to talk a lot about Spurs tonight and one of their players specifically. Got a lot of news to get through, so we'll go on and do that in a second. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please could you do so? The Bobby Moore stand here on YouTube, and give the video a like, hit the bell notification icon, etc., etc. Right, this is fresh news. Fresh news. Club react to protest. Now, we've seen all this week. First of all, I don't know, a suspicious article written by Martin Samuel. It was like he was dictating. He was being dictated to about what to say. Where he was kind of alluding to the fact that the stadium's fine. This was after pointing out that Spurs have built a magnificent stadium, whereas our one's just fine, right? What are they moaning about? Just when teams start winning, they'll forget. Well, that is the Sullivan talking point, right? And then they went on later in the week to basically ignore what was going on with the protests and do kids for a quid to try and fill up the Brentford stadium to an extent. And now they've apparently, there was a meeting. I don't know when this meeting was, this Thursday or last Thursday, with fan groups. I need to learn a bit more about that. But apparently, as a result, they're going to ban half and half scarves from the stadium this weekend.
Brilliant.
And they don't want Spurs fans in the West Ham section. Well, no shit.
Well, to be honest with you, mate, I'm kind of glad that they're banning half and half scarves, because those things shouldn't exist in the first place. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. Yeah. And they are there simply for neutral fans. And when I was in my new posh seats last against Chelsea, literally, I told you already, Americans, about 5 of them. Nothing against Americans, work for an American company, but I do rebel a little bit when I see they're either neutrals or they're Chelsea fans sitting there in their half and half scarves. Not to mention the kid that came in wearing a Chelsea shirt. Really? What, by you? What's that by you?
Just walked in. Nobody said a bloody word. That's where I sit. Yeah.
Flipping hell, mate. I wouldn't have that. You should tell him. What are you doing in here? You lost. You can't have Chelsea fans sitting with the West Ham. That's a joke, mate. I can't believe.
Yeah, but that's how kind of neutral that area is, right? It's because you've got the prawn sandwiches on the other side, the real posh seats on the other side of the barrier, and over my side, I'm guessing what people do, because they're so damn expensive, those tickets, is that they sell all of the big games. I expect, because you're always going to sell them there, right? Because they're perfect view.
Yeah.
So I reckon that's how people pay for half of their ticket in that place. Is they just, the big games that we generally lose anyway, just sell them. But anyway, back to the point. About bloody time they've done something about this. We did hear that when away teams were buying tickets, they were being asked if they were West Ham supporters, and saying yes, and the only proof that to show was them wearing a pair of West Ham socks or something like that. Yeah. That was, because it goes through their unofficial touts, doesn't it? That's when you sell back to the club. You don't sell back to the club. You give they give their touts a chance to sell the tickets for you. So yeah, it's the right thing, isn't it?
Well, the half and half scarves.
Yeah, ban them.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to police it though. They're going to snatch them off people as they walk in.
They're going to snatch them off at the entrance. The entrance.
You can't police that, can you? I mean, if a kid comes walking in, you really think like Stuart's going to say, "No, can't come in here with that on, mate." As if he's going to do that. No one's going to do that. Unfortunately, there still will be half and half scarves going into that stadium. So that's a load of nonsense, really. But they shouldn't exist. They should not exist, though. I agree on that. I do definitely agree with that.
If you were a half and half scarf seller, right? Say you're selling a half and half scarf for a tenner, and then after the game, the club said, you want to buy these back for £2 a piece? Would you buy them? You would, wouldn't you? Although you probably get them for less than £2 in the first place.
I wouldn't even buy one in the first place. I wouldn't even take one for free, and I just don't get them. I really don't, unless you're like a tourist. So I suppose there are quite a few in the ground, but
to me, it's like a program. To me, it's like a program. If you go to a game as a neutral, a game that you're not really interested in, it's the equivalent to a program, right? You've got 2 teams on there and stuff like that, but no adult should ever be wearing a half and half scarf. I'll accept kids can do it, right?
I think it's worse than I think it's way worse than a program, Gal. A program is okay, right? Unless you go to as many games as we go to, but half and half scarf is just out and out wrong. It just shouldn't even exist. It really shouldn't.
No self-respecting adult would wear a half and half scarf, would they, Martin?
No.
It just shows you where football is in this modern day. It's lost all that tribalism, or it hasn't completely, but it has. A lot of these stadiums now are made up in numbers with tourists, and like you say, that's their thing they can put on their wall when they get home, and it's like a ticket, and it says the game they've been to.
Yeah, absolutely. But by the way, I think Chris, you sent me this morning off Instagram. It was I haven't got the video, but there's a top 10 of football-related arrests or football banning orders in the country.
Yes,
and I think Millwall are about 6th. I think Arsenal are about 9th. Proud to say we are the champions of that league.
Proud to say
up there where we belong, right?
I mean, we're top of something finally, but I'm overly proud of it. But it just made me laugh. I was watching it, and obviously they go from 10 to 1, and they're going for it. I'm like, okay, 9, no, 8, no, 7. Oh, fucking hell, where are we? 2, no, West Ham. It's just so obvious, wasn't it? It's like, come on, man, unbelievable.
Is there a trophy for it? Do you get a trophy for that?
You should get a trophy, like a knuckle duster or something like that. So let's talk about Spurs before we get on to let's wrap up the other bits of news before we talk about Spurs. Let's do that last. So Ange has gone to Forest. What do we think?
I just think it's so different to what it's a complete opposite, isn't it? They sort of played in a defensive counter-attacking way, and now we'll see.
Gung-ho with Ange. Defence don't matter.
Yeah, it's a completely different way of playing. Whether he can change that quickly, it'd be interesting to see. That's the first game on Saturday, isn't it? Against Arsenal.
Against Arsenal, yeah. You couldn't pick it, could you? And then you got Nuno. He's on the dole now. He's out in the market, right? I expect he's not struggling for a few quid. What do you reckon, Chris? Nuno, is he attracting you? Nuno Espirito Santo.
Firstly, I mean, I don't really care about Postecoglou, to be honest with you. Doesn't bother me in the slightest. Don't care. I guess kind of reversing that question a little bit, who would you rather have? I mean, let's say, hypothetically, we were looking for a new manager and Potter got a kick, got the elbow or whatever. Who would you rather have, Ange or Nuno? And that's to both of you, by the way.
Every day of the week.
What, because of his gung-ho, don't give a shit at the back?
Because I think he puts together teams with meaningful attack intent, right? All right, you're going to win games 4-3 and 3-2 and whatever, but they're exciting games. We like goals, don't we? Don't really like conceding them, but we tend to concede a lot anyway as West Ham in this league. So I don't know. We always seem to have really good attacking players without a manager who knows how to take advantage of them. Apart from the last 20 minutes of the last game, where we actually saw some of our potential come to light, didn't we?
Yeah. No, we did. I mean, I'd agree with you. I'd be quite happy to win a game 4-3 or lose a game 4-3. No, at least we went for it. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's the problem. So, as you rightly said, we can see goals regardless. So, if we're going to concede goals, we might as well try and score a few goals down the other end.
Look at this comment. I will be your next manager.
The special.
Oh, there he is.
Who's that? I've never seen him in here before.
Special one. Yeah, he's popped in tonight.
You just know Sullivan's got this list, and every time someone's available, he just goes on it. I don't have to pay for him. Nuno's just joined that, and he.
Well, talking about don't have to pay for people, he didn't want to carry on paying Fab, so he let him leave, and now he's brought him back probably on a fraction of the salary. It's good to see Fab's back, though, isn't it? I mean, he's been gone a long time. I've missed him.
He's been gone all the 3 games, Gal. He's been gone all the 3 games. I think the funny thing about Fabianski is, right. So I'm with you. I'm glad that he's back because it makes sense, right? It does make sense. But it's just a bit of a joke as well, isn't it? At the same time, in terms of how that's happened, right? It kind of is. I mean, just for a laugh, I went onto the West Ham website yesterday, and I was like, wasn't there like some kind of big send off for Fabianski and like an interview and this, that, and the other? And I read it was like, it's not that. I know, mate. It wasn't that long ago. And then West Ham have the audacity to kind of put like fucking 7 or 8 Instagram posts of Fabianski, things that you might already know about Fabianski. Yeah, we know he was here 3 games ago. He's mental. He's crazy, but it makes sense. And obviously he's coming in on the proviso that he is essentially going to be backup. He's going to be supporting. He's going to be third choice. So that's cool. But I just don't think we should have let him go in the first place. Basically, just let go of Fotheringham. Keep Fabianski. Job done.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I agree. We saw Fotheringham in playing in the States, didn't we? It weren't really up to much, was it? He did keep a clean sheet, I think, against Dagenham and Redbridge in one of the pre-season friendlies, though. So we'll always remember that game, won't we?
Well, look, I mean, he's one of those few goalkeepers that West Ham have had that have conceded 0 goals. So you've got to hand it to him. You know, he was a great servant to West Ham.
No, he hasn't. He conceded in the States, didn't he?
Yeah,
no, but that don't count. That don't count, Gal. You know, that doesn't count. I'm not including that.
Oh, you mean proper games? Proper.
We never actually played any proper games, so that's what I'm saying. He didn't play a single game for us, did he?
That's true. That's true. So Guido seems to be staying, unfortunately. There doesn't seem to be a case where he's going to tear up his contract. Just read tonight that the guy I said was joining. What was his name? The guy that went on what was the one? Sullivan's
Brownhill.
Bloody hell! Why don't I have it written down?
Hey,
the guy
Brownhill?
that we were supposed. Yeah, Brownhill.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How
Mike.
could you forget Brownhill?
Brownhill has joined a Saudi league club, Al whatever. Yeah. Struggling down the bottom, Al whatever. They're not doing too well this season.
Yeah.
So he's gone over there. What else have we got? Fulkrug got injured again. He's struggling. Don't seem as bad as it's a recurrence of what he had before. Apparently, calf. He's got very sensitive calves. Apparently, so
hopefully he's any nigger he feels he's just easing off because it's World Cup year. Hopefully he's just being sensible. But
man, I couldn't give a crap if it's World Cup year. He's a West Ham player. He's here to do a job for us, not for Germany. That's the way I look at it. But actually, to be your point, Gal, he's not. I don't think he's as bad as we initially may have thought because he was back at training. I think he was back yesterday. So he's doing some light training. And I don't know if you saw the Potter interview today, but he said he's training, but it's highly unlikely he's going to start at the weekend.
I did see the Potter interview today where he called out Igor, the new defender, as giving us strength in depth and options on the left and right. No mention of a back three.
Not on the right. Not on the right.
No, the left.
The left, yeah.
I know it was one of the two. But yeah, on the left, back up for Kilman. Yeah. Somerville is fine. Contrary to certain rumours that were put out earlier in the week, some people just want to make trouble, don't they?
Yeah, apparently that was just because he wasn't in the training video. I mean, how ridiculous is that?
all the ITKs watching YouTube and Instagram, like he's not there, right? We've got it. We've got the news. He's injured. He's unfit.
I was getting messages from people I normally sort of believe, and I think, blimey, this can't be true, surely.
No, I believed it.
He's got 25 out of 26 players available this weekend. Fulkrug being the exception, being the one, right? So he's actually got a pretty good squad this weekend.
The only thing that surprises me about that is we've got 26 players. That's odd.
Yeah. We're including some of the youngsters in that as well, of course,
That must include the players that are out on loan, right?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not going to go through the whole fucking list, but yeah, we've got apparently 25 out of 26.
Oh, fair enough. All right. Yeah. So Lampard is not coming home, apparently. That was a rumour that was put out there. God knows what. I don't know if they were testing the water on that one or not, but he's happy at Coventry. You know that he can only manage kids. He's very, very good at managing kids. He should manage the under-21s or something. He's brilliant at getting the best out of the youths. Yeah. Can't do it with big grown-up players, though, can he?
No.
It doesn't look like it, does it?
He's a bit meek as a character as well. I must admit, I was very surprised when I chatted to him in the pub that time.
You never said you met Lampard in a pub before, Gal.
I did. I met him in a pub just before the Chelsea game. Yeah. He gathers there every time. I know I've mentioned it a couple of times. Just out there walking his dog. Went over, had a chat with him, and he, I was surprised that someone like that is kind of he's very introverted. I think whether that is, that's what he's like when he's around football players, I don't know, but he seemed to be very, very quietly spoken, unassuming bloke. Not surprised that he struggled to manage the egos at Chelsea and wherever else he failed.
Yeah, I thought he had all the right credentials to be a great manager because, his mentality of being a winner. And I remember listening to a podcast with him once, and that Jake, I forget his surname now, and I was really impressed by him, really, really impressed by him. So I think in principle, he does have the right attributes, but sadly it hasn't worked out for him for one reason or another. I think he had a good stint at Derby. I think he had one good season at Chelsea, then it went a bit downhill for him. But, I don't know. Again, I don't really care about Lampard, to be honest with you. I'm glad he's not coming here.
You don't care about Lampard? Bloody.
No, it's funny that, but no, I couldn't give a monkeys. I wish him well at Coventry, but I don't really want him at West Ham. No,
so one more bit of news before we move on to Spurs, and it's about Spurs, and that is Daniel Levy. They got their dream. Daniel Levy moved on. They're looking for new owners now. Amanda Staveley's group apparently can't bid for another 6 months. So Amanda, the one who looks like she's been in a high wind, she needs to get down here to London Stadium because you know very well she's very good at her job. She's a grown up. The Geordies loved her. Really, really believed in her. Because she delivered on what she said, and that's rare for football leadership, isn't it?
Doesn't really look like a she, though, does she? She looks more like a he.
Don't insult her, Chris. We want her to come home. We want her here. Don't insult her. I think she's got a lovely facelift. Leave her alone.
No, she actually looks like... I was watching it, and you could think that could be a geezer. It could be a bloke.
See, now she's going to be watching this, right, man?
I know.
Right? She's going to be watching this. Yeah. And now she's going to be, she's going to call someone else. She was about to put in a bid, Chris, before you said that.
Oh, it's a shame. But no one wants, I mean, I don't know if she is a bloke. Who knows? No one knows.
To look at, granted.
What do you reckon, Martin? Do you fancy her or not? She'll cup of tea? I mean, Gary seems to be a bit of a,
I'll take her over Sullivan.
That sounds very kinky, mate.
you got to watch what you say on here because you already put the Alpine Messi off on your comments. Don't put potential new owners off.
I'm just saying it. I'm just saying what we probably all think. I did watch an interview with her yesterday, and I don't know if she's done some more, some changes or updates to her face or whatever, but she does look quite manly. She looks quite manly. But then having said that, look at Karen Brady. Maybe it's a thing. Look at the state.
Karen Brady's got a completely different face to what she had when she was about 5 years ago, isn't she? She said she's had no work done. It's just natural. It's natural. I don't know. Who's to say? Who's to say? There might be a miracle thing out there. Who knows? It might be lifestyle. Might be a vegan diet. What do you reckon? Does that improve?
She's telling everyone it's been a huge success.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it is. She ain't stopped smiling since we moved in. Can't move. So let's talk about, there's a certain special character coming back to West Ham this weekend. The first game back since he left. Mohamed Kudus, departing hero, right? How do you two feel about this,
Martin?
I'm worried because, as we know, he used to turn up when he wanted to. He'd play against Liverpool because he was trying to impress them. Yeah. He'd be focused on upsetting us. He'd probably bring his own stool. He'd be in the Tottenham dugout or something.
Take the fucking legs off. Stools are not allowed. Stools must be banned from the stadium. All stools. I don't care if a little kid, a steward, is sitting on a ball boy, is sitting on a stool. For this weekend alone, they've got to sit on the floor. It's just the way it has to be.
Yeah, we can't have that. The media are absolutely love that. We won't stop seeing it.
Yeah. But he does.
I'm looking forward to him coming back. I actually am. I get what you're saying, Martin. I'm gonna fucking have him, mate. But no, I am of course worried about him because you're right, Martin. He turns up when he wants, kind of thing, and he's going to be bang up for this game. But equally, so will the fans because he's there, and I think that will really, get the crowd going. The fact that he's turning back up to London Stadium, no one's going to be happy to see him. They are going to boo him incessantly throughout that game. So on that basis alone, he's going to create a bit of an atmosphere. And I think that atmosphere might play into our advantage. I hope, at least, anyway. So I am looking forward to it. And I think it's funny, when you look at the games where you've got these kind of ex-Judas type players, right? Like the Paul Ince's, the Jermaine Defoe's. It always created this type of atmosphere.
Jermaine Defoe, the Judas status has been removed from Jermaine Defoe since he did that with that Bradley kid. not Judas anymore. He's a good guy now.
Hey, hold up a minute. I'm not. Look,
not in the same sentence.
That's irrelevant.
You know.
No, that's irrelevant. Like, he did an amazing thing for that young lad. Absolutely, he did. But we're talking that's his personal life.
Universally forgiven.
Gary, stop it. That's his personal life. But no, he did an amazing thing. That's his personal life. I'm talking from a football perspective here, right? That's it. So he is still a Judas. He is, right? He absolutely. He handed in a transfer request. The second we got down, he went into the change room, handed a transfer request in. No, he's a Judas. How can you accept that anymore? I don't understand why you're tolerating that.
I'm willing to accept his mistakes he made as a young lad because he kind of, he gave it back. He gave some back, didn't he?
What's happened to you, mate? What's happened, Gal? I don't know what's happened to you.
I'm all forgiving. I won't forgive Ince, obviously.
What's going to happen next? You're going to forgive Sullivan and Brady soon. I mean, I don't know what's going on with you tonight, mate.
No, there are certain exceptions, Chris, in life. I think, when someone does something good, offsets against the bad thing they once did. What do you reckon, Martin? You be the decider.
I think you've changed since you've gone in them posh seats. You've lost all your sort of aggression.
Yes, thank you. You've said it, mate.
That nasty streak. It's gone. Yeah, it's been watered down by the Americans.
What do you think? I mean, is Defoe a Judas to you, Martin? Come on, truthfully.
Anyone who is passionate about leaving this club and actually forces it, I'm not interested in it at all. It don't matter what they do.
Yeah,
that's it for me.
So anyway, going back to my point, okay, that atmosphere, that it creates when you get an ex-player that is, universally hated by the fan base, I think creates an atmosphere, and I do believe that might play into our favour. Because look, let's face it, on paper, as much as I hate to say this, Spurs do have a better team than West Ham. They do, but that's irrelevant because it's a London derby. There's certain kind of, you got, like, as I say, Kudus coming back and all this kind of stuff. Yes. It's a London derby. It's Tottenham's Cup final, all that sort of stuff. It can play into our favour a little bit. So
the players need to know, unlike against Chelsea, because their edge drops and they didn't seem to be fighting for each other against Chelsea. That's not acceptable against Tottenham, right? No. We cannot just roll over and have our tummies tickled against Tottenham. They've got to know how important this is, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I totally agree with you. I think they will. This is a bigger game than Chelsea for West Ham, right? Oh, yeah. Just not because it's a cup final. They can just stick that right up their ass. It's because we don't like Spurs. No one likes Spurs, so we quite like playing them because we don't like them. By the way,
can I just give you another annoying fact about Spurs? Right, they did that thing that we did, only they of cashing in on their future Sky income. But you know what they also did to get around the PSR? All the shareholders contributed money out of their own pockets to the club, right? And it allowed them to go out and spend like drunken sailors. See, that's the difference, isn't it, between a well-run club and a badly run club?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you can say what you want about Levy, right, prior to his departure, but in terms of what he actually built there for Spurs, the stadium and everything else, our owners couldn't do that in a million years. Couldn't.
Yeah. I wonder what the feeling of the players is towards Kudus. I mean, it's very different, the relationships the players have. But there must have been some problems there with his attitude and his commitment last year, surely.
It's an interesting question, actually, because I was thinking about that myself, and I was also thinking about last season. When you see those training videos, and typically the players that tend to kind of get on with other players and having a laugh and this, that, and the other. From recollection, and I don't know if you guys have got a different opinion on this, but it seemed as though he was pretty close with Somerville. He seemed to be pretty tight with him last season. So that'd be interesting if he comes up against him on the same flank, right? Somerville on the left, Kudus on the right. So that'd be interesting. But aside from that, I don't know. I don't know. Is he really that disliked, or did he have? I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know if you've got a different opinion, Martin, but I just don't
know. I did hear a few things.
Go on.
Well, no, I can't say certain things. I know he was. He was definitely one of the bad eggs in the dressing room.
Right.
And I know from the moment Potter went in, he didn't want to be there. So and he made that clear.
Brilliant. Well, that's the response to all those who were praising Kudus and slagging off Potter when he left, as if he was some sort of departing hero when he was nothing but a tosspot who didn't try at all for us last year. And think about it this way. We could have got relegated last year, and neither him nor Alvarez, who's now fucking sadly injured with a serious muscle injury over in Fenerbahce, shame that. Neither of them gave a toss. We would have got relegated without them helping, no matter how good they potentially are.
Yeah, that's why they couldn't stay. That's why it was right for them to go. Don't care who you are, how good you are. If you're not going to put in 100% for the club, then it's not worth being here.
Put it this way, Martin, everyone was, and I was disappointed as well that we sold Kudus to Spurs, right? If we were going to sell him, I wanted him to go elsewhere. I was disappointed with the player himself wanting to go to Spurs, but for the amount of money we sold him for, that speaks volumes, because who else came in for him? If he was that much of an exceptional player and an exceptional character as well, a professional individual that took his job seriously, then other big teams would have been going in for him. When I say other big teams, I'm not including Spurs in that, but some big teams would have been going in for him, not just Spurs. But they didn't. Says it all, doesn't it? Newcastle didn't go for it.
Even on principle, you're getting paid 100 and something grand a week, and you take it upon yourself to just sulk and not do your job right properly. Yeah, fucking hell. Anyway, look, should we talk about the game?
I'll tell you what we should
get some comments up from people in the chat.
I'll tell you what we should do, Gal, is we should go through our lineups, our predicted lineups. Okay?
Go on, Chris. You take over the controls.
I will take this over, right? So I'm going to, first of all, hold up a minute. Let me just see if I can grab mine. I'm going to go with my starting lineup, okay? And I'm going to provide some reasoning and context behind this. Okay, so here we go. Bang. Look at that. Very professional, right?
Very smart.
So what I'm going for here is I'm going for a 4-2-3-1 formation. I think we need to stick to the formation that we played against Nottingham Forest because it worked. Unsurprisingly, it worked. In terms of the back four, well, look, firstly, goalkeeper. I think it wouldn't be right to drop Hermanson. We need to stick with him. He did well last game against Forest. You have to stick with him, irrespective of what people are saying about playing Areola or whatever. No, you stick with Hermanson. Back four, very simple. Look, Kyle Walker-Peters. This was a tough one for me because I was genuinely thinking of putting Aaron Wan-Bissaka in there, despite the fact that Kyle Walker-Peters did very, very well in the previous game because, in my opinion, and I think this is universally known, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is probably one of the best fullbacks in the Premier League, particularly when you go up as a winger going up against him one-to-one. It's a difficult task, right? So I was thinking, they do pose a lot of strength, Spurs, particularly down the flanks when you've got Kudus on one side, you've got Brennan Johnson on the other side. I think that might have worked. But regardless, I think I'm sticking with Kyle Walker-Peters because he deserved it after the last game. Now, this is where it gets interesting because you and I and Martin, we've got differing opinions on who we should have in the middle of the park. I'm going to stick with Fernandes, of course, because he was a significant, he had a significant impact for us in the previous game. But I'm also going to stick with Thomas Souček, right? Notice there is no James Ward-Prowse in this. I do not want him anywhere near my lineup, but I will stick Souček in there for the very reasons that I think he will offer us a little bit more when it comes to going forward. Okay, particularly from set pieces, as we all know, he can nick a goal, and I think for that reason alone, in a London derby, it's worth its weight in gold. I'd stick him in there. There was part of me that was thinking Magassa, but I don't think he is ready to start. Well, it's not that he's ready.
I don't know that.
No. That's what to say. I don't know if he's ready, so I'm thinking maybe we should slowly ease him into it, right? But I get the thinking about playing him because I was thinking about it as well. But I thought, no, I'm going to stick with Souček in there because he offers us something a little bit more from an attacking perspective. And then obviously when you look further forward down the pitch, Jared Bowen wide right, by default he goes there. Then you've got Somerville on the left. Again, could be seen as a potential risk based on his injury record and the fact he's only just coming back from injury. But he's had another 2 weeks after having a 25-minute spell the other week. I would say we just be a bit bold here and go for it and stick him down the left because he'll cause them problems. And don't forget, we're coming up against a very good fullback at Spurs. They've got Jed Spence playing there and all. He's a good fullback. I think we need to test him a little bit. And I worry that if we had Fernandes playing on the left-hand side, we're not really going to get much going down that side of the pitch. So I would like to see definitely Somerville playing on the left. Paqueta, definitely playing in the hole, playing in the 10. For me, makes absolute sense. The guy scored 4 in 4 games. He has to play in that kind of more attacking position from midfield. Now up front, this is the one, Gal. This is the one that I was.
Flynn Downs. Is that Flynn Downs?
No, mate. This is the one and only Callum Marshall. I'm going with Callum Marshall because, right, and there is some logic behind this. Fulkrug out, Callum Wilson fit. Default would be play Callum Wilson. However, Potter was saying in his interview today, he's not quite ready. He's not quite match fit. He hasn't. He didn't have a pre-season. Yeah, he didn't have a pre-season. This, that, and the other. Right. We all know, like he did coming on against Forest, he was an impact sub that had, quite an influential impact when he came on for the final 25 minutes. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking stick a youngster up there with a bit of pace, knacker out their centre halves, take him off after an hour, and then stick on Callum Wilson so he can impact the game more. That's my logical thinking behind it. But also, I can't help but think there have been many occasions when we've introduced youth into certain games. I mean, Mark Noble against Spurs in the 2005-06 season when he came in, right? Middle of the park.
Yeah.
These sort of games, when you get youngsters coming from the youth team, they are bang up for these types of games. This could be a game where, you know what's there to lose, Gal? You can play a Callum Wilson up there who's not completely match fit. You know, we know he has his injury niggles, this, that, and the other. Play this youngster up there. Give him a chance. You know, give him all the confidence in the world. Give him an hour. If he does better than we expect him to, then fuck it, keep him on the pitch longer.
I'm not against it. I'm not against it. I think it's a good lineup. Assuming Spurs will be playing 4-2-3-1 as well. That is the Frank way, isn't it?
There is, right. So I've got an alternative lineup. I'm going to go through this real quick, very quickly. This is my second lineup, right?
So, game up front.
Very much the same lineup, right? Yeah. But again, because of these injury concerns we have up front, Gary, I was thinking to myself, there has been an individual that's been talking a lot recently about this amazing left foot, some of the cracking, banging goals he scored,
different class,
pace in abundance. We could go with Gary up front. Now, if anyone's wondering why Gary looks like what's his face? What's his name, Martin?
Penfold.
It's because last week there was a few people that said Gary looked like Penfold. So I have,
and this is why I'm going to have laser eye surgery and get ut of the glasses. See what you're doing.
Look, mate, come on! You got to hand it. Look at the hair. I've put the hair. I've put your hair on Penfold, mate.
Amazing. Yes.
So that's the alternative. But this is your lineup, so you can talk through this because you asked me to put this lineup together. So here we go. Right, this is Gary and Martin's lineup.
Oh, look at that!
Where's that one of Martin sitting on the toilet that you made earlier?
Yeah, that'd be up. I'm expecting to see that at some point. Been very busy today, Chris. I don't think he's been doing much work.
I have been.
Alex, was it you that came up with his name? If so, watch out, Alex. I'll have me revenge.
It's genius. It's absolute genius. Yeah. Penfold with a syrup on. A great syrup. Perfect. Uncanny.
Right. So this to me makes a little bit more sense in terms of giving us an extra body in midfield when we're playing on the retreat, defending. I want to see Magassa. I want to see as many legs in midfield as possible. We saw what a difference Fernandez made the other day in working. You know, even with Ward-Prowse and Souček behind him, he made such a huge difference, didn't he? And I want to see more of that. And I really want to see Magassa in full flight because he's supposed to be a really bloody good defensive midfielder. Mm. So,
I'm with you. I am with you. I'm just thinking, is he ready for a London derby against Spurs? Maybe this is the very game you'd want to introduce a new player into the team. I don't know, but then I don't know. Then you're talking about two new players essentially, in Fernandez and also Magassa playing them, pretty centrally. I don't know, but look, I get it. I totally get it. It's a good lineup, mate. I'd be well happy with that. What do you think, Martin? I mean, you went up with exactly the same lineup as well.
Yeah, I've got. That's what I want, but I wonder if he will do that. It's going to be hard to change a winning team, isn't it? He's got to leave someone out. Well, Jones will Prowse for that probably.
Yeah, but the winning team, it wasn't really a winning team until the substitutes came on.
No, it wasn't. No, they won the game.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah.
So Jimmy not match fit, so he can't start. That's what I thought as well, and I thought he's only played one bit part in a game, and I like him as an impact sub from the bench, don't you?
Look, I like it. I like both, right? I mean, honestly, there's part of me that just thinks, look, just take the game to Spurs, just go out there, come out of the traps, fucking fighting. And I just think that if we've got some, pacey little Somerville on the left hand side, I think it's going to cause some problems. And I like that. I don't want us just to be sitting back and then looking to, I don't know, try and close out the game in the last 20 minutes and score a goal. I want us to go out there and attack Spurs. When you look historically at London derbies, against Spurs, there's always goals in it. What I'm worried about is if we ended up playing, right? And I can't believe, I refuse to accept that Potter would go with the 3/5 at the back. But there's part of me worried that he will, because when he's looking to kind of combat and negate the threat of Kudus and also, Johnson at the flanks, he might want to double up on Kudus. And if he does that, then he could end up playing. that 5, and I really hope he doesn't do that. I'd much rather he play the same, because I mean we've essentially chosen the same formation. He's got to play that 4-2-3-1. He has to, because it just offers a bit more up front, doesn't it, in the final thirds?
Honestly, I take the same attitude as I did to the Forest game. Is that if he does that and we get humiliated, then he's next on the line, right?
Yeah, I mean, it could go terribly wrong.
It's up to him what he does, but that is really a stupid move in my eye. In my eyes, the 3 at the back just doesn't work for us. He should drop it.
Yeah, I agree. But it'll be interesting, because I know people were saying that he played that as a result of the fact that one of our centre, well, obviously Naif Aguerd left, but I don't buy that, because he still had Todibo that he could have played in a back 3. So I don't think that's necessarily true. I'd like to think that he's learnt his lesson and he realises that actually playing that flat back 4 makes a lot more sense, because we look much more of a cohesive, tighter unit than we have done in any other games. We defended better. We weren't getting exposed, particularly in the full-back areas like we were before when we played 3 at the back. So really, he should be sticking with that, I hope. But
you know what I'd like to see? You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see West Ham lining up using these arm movements, right? Stuck in every single player, using the arm positions that they've got in those photos, and just play the whole game like that. I think it'd be brilliant. It'd really confuse the fuck out of Spurs, wouldn't it?
Bowen just running around holding his armband.
Yeah. Just
looking, yeah.
I'm the captain.
Thomas Souček looking like a Kenwood chef, spinning around all over the pitch, knocking players out. Then you've got Diouf running down the wing, celebrating constantly.
Destroying Kudus with both arms up in the air like that.
Then you've got the magnificent Mavropanos clearing his ears out, both his hands. So, yeah.
The worrying thing is, the only one not using his hands is Hermansen.
It's very true. Yeah, actually, I don't want that.
Oh, dear.
So yeah, I think, look, there's options. I think a couple of people have mentioned bringing back AWB. I don't think you can. I think, what's his name? KWP was brilliant in the last game. Really, really good. Really solid and great going forward as well. So I think if you come in and you do a job like that and you've replaced someone, you can't just put the other one back in again, can you?
I don't think so. I think it'd be incredibly unfair. And there's also another part of this that I quite like, and that's the fact that Walker Peters used to play for Spurs. So maybe it could be the sort of game that you want him to be involved in.
Yeah. Just one thing. When Kudus first did that celebration, it did not involve a stool. It involved sitting on the barrier with his back to the crowd, right? And he did it to the away fans, right? I fucking hope he don't have a rush of blood and do that.
No,
if he scores.
Well, if he does it, that's right in front of me, Gal. I'm only in row 2, so I could push him off.
You can take him out, Chris.
I could push him off. But he done another thing before, didn't he? Do you remember when he got out some kind of like wooden sculpture? Do you remember he pulled out some wooden sculpture one time when he scored?
Well, it was a stool. Well? It was a custom-made stool, wasn't it?
Was it? I can't remember now. Fucking custom-made.
I don't remember.
An African.
I'll tell you what. If we see him warming up, right? Actually, no, he won't do down this end. But if anyone down the other end sees him warming up, putting his little stool down there, please grab it. And don't allow it to be there, because that's not acceptable. That'd be massively taking the piss, wouldn't it? It really would. I don't know how I deal with that.
Glenn says he can't quite believe AWB has become a side issue. Well, he's not a side issue. He was hammered a year last year, and he's had a diabolical start to the season. He got drops. And the guy that's come in has done really well. A couple of games' time, he'll come back in and get a game. You know he's going to get plenty of football. He's a great player. But for now, I don't see him replacing KWP. Why should he?
He's a fantastic option as well. I mean, there's nothing saying that he might not put Bowen up front and then AWB on that right. He might do that.
I hope he doesn't, though, mate, because, you can imagine Jared Bowen up against, their 2 centre-halves, one of the fastest centre-halves in the Premier League. I don't want to see that. That's not going to be good. That's essentially why I was talking about playing someone like Callum Marshall up there, because he'll give him a run for his money. He's got youth, he's got pace, he's got energy. I think playing Bowen up there, it just completely takes away the threat. It really does. And I think, we all know that he's better on the right-hand side. You need to play players in the right positions.
Yes, especially your best ones.
You don't have to read the first part of his comment. It's obvious. Gary is right. It was a Ghanaian stool. I heard he paid someone to bring it in each week. Really? He had a stool assistant. Now, that could mean different things.
Honestly, if anyone sees him walking onto that pitch before the game with a stool in his hand, a wooden stool,
fucking break it. Nick it.
Break it, get it.
Right. Don't forget, lads, take your half and half scarf. It's not. Don't take your half and half scarf. Not allowed. Yep, we've covered that already, Kent. You're late. They're banned. They're outlawed. About bloody time too, isn't it? As are Spurs fans in the West Ham section, apparently. We shall see, because I'll be in the posh seats. Let's see if someone waltzes in with a Spurs shirt on, like someone did with Chelsea shirt last time.
Are you going to kick off, Gal, if you see that?
Kick right off, Chris. Kick right off.
Have it, yes.
Yeah.
Well, they certainly wouldn't do it in the Bobby Moore lower, would they, Martin? There's not a chance in hell.
Well, that's where it's gone off against Liverpool, Man United and Arsenal last year. If you remember, in those games, there was away supporters just openly supporting their team in the fucking Bobby Moore lower. It's ridiculous.
Was it in the lower? Because I thought it was more in the upper tiers.
One of them was in the upper. One, I know that. I think two of them were in the lower. I think.
Yeah, it was just behind me.
Was that you who got involved, Martin?
No, you wouldn't have been able to get there with so many people on them. It's unbelievable. The stewards didn't have a chance.
So you tried to get involved, but you couldn't quite get your fists out.
I'm a very responsible fan these days.
It's so irresponsible of these people. They real piss takers, aren't they? To think they can go into a home crowd and do it. Gary, it happens a lot in the posh seats, especially dads bringing kids in their full kit of the opposition. Fuck that. Dear God.
Yeah, full kit. That'd be hilarious if adults went like that, wouldn't it?
What are you going to do, Gal, right? Let me give you a scenario here that could play out by all accounts based on what Kent Hammers has just said. Let's say a family come in, okay? A family come in, mother, father, or just a father and his kids. And his kids are, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of age, and they've got Spurs kits on.
You know what? I'd say nothing. I'd say nothing because I don't believe in digging out kids. It's like the geezer that walked in with a Chelsea shirt on, he was about 18. I ain't going a fucking teenager, am I? So
but 18, I think is actually no. You can say something to an 18-year-old. I think.
No. I honestly, what's the point of making a scene? No one else cares.
Or you just no. I think 18-year-old is old enough to no.
A bloke in a Spurs shirt, Chris. That's different.
18-year-old. I mean, that's kind of classified as an adult.
Yeah, he looked young. He looked young. He looked 18, right? He didn't look like a big lump. No.
He might have been able to take you though, Gal. He might have been able to take you out, mate. So do you know what I mean? Not these 18-year-olds.
Might have done. Yeah. Sort me right out, Chris. Sort me right out. So how do you think Thomas Frank, the unsinkable Thomas Frank, is going to line up for this game?
Probably the same formation. Big Kudus on the right.
On the right? He's on the right. So in a 4-2-3-1, he's on the right of the three, yeah?
Yeah, that's where he's been playing, But he wasn't very effective against Bournemouth. I mean, the whole team
knows how to stop him, it's us, right?
Yeah.
Well, you'd think so, which worries me about what I said before about playing this five at the back, trying to double up on him. That would worry me a little bit. But yeah, I think you're right, Martin. They play a 4-2-3-1. I mean, Thomas Frank is renowned for being a fairly defensive manager. But the thing is now they've got a lot more, in their arsenal to go forward, right? So when you bear in mind they've got that Javi Simons, who's actually a very, very good player. And I have, I like watching my football, Gal, right? And I've seen him play. He's a good player. I saw him when he was at PSG. And I think he went to Leverkusen. I didn't see him play there, but his goal scoring record's pretty damn good. He's a central attacking midfielder, plays in the 10. Very, very good player, good dribbler of the ball, good pace. And then they've got the other lad as well that they've just signed from PSG as well.
He's a good player as well.
Yeah, Kolo Muani, right? So he's also, I mean, he's pretty rapid. So when you look at our centre halves, I mean, we don't have a great deal of pace there, as we know. So that is a concern. But I would imagine that he will stick with Richarlison up front because he has been playing up front, hasn't he, for the game so far for Spurs. But it's what they've got potentially coming off the bench that worries me a little bit.
They've got Champions League on Tuesday, though. Champions League on Tuesday. Surely have one eye on that, won't they?
Yeah,
maybe.
That comment, go back to that comment. I thought that was the comment. It's actually his name, isn't it? I thought he was saying play 10 at the back. No one in attack.
No one in attack. Yeah.
I love it.
That's where we got Super David Moyes. That's the lyrics, isn't it? T. Frank reminds me of Dobby in House of Elf in Harry Potter. That reference goes straight over my head, Dave.
No, he's got them vibes.
Yeah, he's got the Dobby vibes.
He has, yeah.
See, Dobby, I was thinking Dobbin, the horse in Rent-A-Ghost.
Blimey. Cool. I know about Rent-A-Ghost for a long time.
No,
Chris, do you remember Rent a Ghost?
No, look, Martin, you're a tiny bit older than me. If you don't remember it, how the hell am I going to remember it?
he got a reference, Chris. He got a reference. You're just ignorant towards normal cultural references. That's all I can say.
I'm just a youngster, mate. That's all it is.
You are really young, yeah. So Potter has only lost once to Frank, which was last season, but has a good record against him. But Frank has a good record against West Ham. Yeah, he has a bloody good record against West Ham. He's come unstuck a couple of times at home, hasn't lost, but there was the one penalty, the 1-0 at Brentford in the cup, and there was the draw, wasn't there? There was a draw. I think other than that, he's trounced us every time, isn't he?
That one
he does have a good record, yeah.
When Kudus scored that acrobatic volley, didn't he? That game was
two, didn't he?
Yeah, we ended up losing that game, didn't we? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that was quality half-time changes, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So Claire loved Rent a Ghost. You calling her old as well? No, you're not. No, you're not, because you can't.
Well,
Audrey Roberts was in Rent a Ghost. Yes, she was.
She was. That's Coronation Street girl, wasn't it?
If you mentioned, who would you haunt if you could hire a ghost?
Oh, come on now, Gal. That's not even a question. Not even a question, is it?
How much fun could you have with that?
Yeah. Oh, I'd love it. It'd be brilliant. It'd be so good.
Yeah.
So good.
I take it we're thinking of the same thing.
Well, the haunting of David Sullivan could be a movie. It could well be a movie.
He's already got all them weird mannequins around the house, hasn't he? You could start moving them about.
There could be a new Conjuring movie about David
the
Sullivan.
only example of the ghost running out the fucking house, wouldn't it?
Oh, I love it. Yeah. David Sullivan chasing him out of a rubber dildo.
Ectoplasm.
Oh, you're grim.
Chris likes a bit of ectoplasm, don't you, Chris?
What are you on about, mate?
Right, so what else have we got to talk about in terms of football? Oh yeah, very quickly. Well, let's do predictions to start with, and all you lot in the audience. Predictions for Spurs. So I'm going to go West Ham United 2, Tottenham Hotspur 1.
I'm going to go for a win as well. I'm even better. I think 3-1. I think it's going to be convincing, but I don't know why I think
my predictions, Martin. You're stealing my predictions. I always go 3-1, mate. But
sorry.
No. You're. It's all right. It's not just exclusively my result.
2019, Chris. 2019.
Well, in that case, I am going for a win as well. And to be honest with you, it was actually going to be either 2-1 or 3-1 as well. But because 3-1 sounds a lot more better, I'm going with 3. Yeah. I'm going with 3-1.
He's going to be a ghost himself soon.
Actually, 3-2 I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for 3-2 because I think there's going to be goals in this game. Yeah, 3-2 would be a cracking game, wouldn't it? It would be.
Yeah.
3-2. Yeah.
So sorry, Martin, what was your score? You went for a win, but what was it?
3-1.
3-1. So we got 2-1, 3-1, 3-2. A unanimous verdict. And we're getting draws and wins. Nobody. Bodger. No Bodger. Oh. Bad Bodger. All right.
You're a Spurs fan.
Fools, freaks and fools. Yes. That was like our team last season. That was our squad, wasn't it? West Ham 3, Spuds 2.
Yeah, that's the one.
Goal to be up there already, waiting for Dave. Maybe it'd be him, the ghost of Christmas future that I fucking. Oh, Dave, this is what's going to happen to you unless you buy some players, Dave. 2-1 to us, says Cat. Eamon, 3-0.
Easy Spuds win. Come on, man. Like, you can't be saying this.
2. Callum Wilson, 94th minute goal. Imagine that. Whoever scores that imagine if he scored a winner right in the Bobby Moore end and just fucking run into the crowd.
Oh, man.
Amazing.
Honestly.
Amazing.
Well, you won't experience any of that, Gal, because you'll be in your posh seats. But me and Martin will enjoy it.
I'm gonna sit in the Bobby Moore a few times this season because I decided for a couple of games, big ones, profitable ones, I'm going to sell me expensive seats and go sit with you lot.
Yeah,
I'm going to allow myself to sit with you lot.
You're going to stoop to the lows of sitting near us. You know,
I'll never forget my time in the Bobby Moore lower. You know, and I'll be back there probably next season, so I can lord it over you this year, but not for 2 seasons running. I don't think I can be shelling out another fucking 3,400 quid for 2 tickets.
God dear.
Yeah.
Straight in Sullivan's back pocket, that girl.
Big fella 30 is cheerful. Look, what if we go 5-0 down? Place will go mental. Place will be empty. Big fella. So West Ham 2-1. We almost unanimous in the comments, upbeat, optimistic people that they are. We're going for this. Ain't another loss, is it? Is this a 5-4? No, crazy, no defending game. 5-4. I'd like that.
Cool.
No chili sauce in the posh seats. No, there isn't, Glenn. No chance. No chance.
When was the last time? This will be a test of your knowledge. When was the last time West Ham won a game exactly 5-4? It's got to be Bradford City, hasn't it?
Yeah,
do you remember that one?
The Canio one, wasn't it, when he sat down?
Yeah, Bradford City.
Fucking brilliant game. What a brilliant game to be at.
Yeah, classic.
That was Di Canio and Lampard arguing over who's going to take the penalty, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When you watch replay of that game, he had about 5 Stonewall penalties turned down by that referee.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
How many he wanted to come off, didn't he?
There's not a protest for Spurs, Kent, so I think it'll be a full house pretty much. You know, people want to go and see this one. Speaking
of protests, real quickly, right? So, you know, the Brentford game, as you pointed out on about the kids for £1. There is actually a thing that you can do as a season ticket holder where you can actually purchase 6 tickets, £1 tickets if you choose to. You can do that. Now, I'm not saying I didn't do it. I'm not saying I did do it. But what I am saying is you can do it if you want to do it.
Do you suggest buying 6 tickets and not turning it up, Chris? That's ridiculous.
Mate, it's £6. I'm not saying that, guy. You know, it depends. It depends really, like how you're feeling, right? But yeah, you could buy 6 tickets for £1.
Would anyone be that bloody minded, Chris?
I don't think. I mean, I couldn't think of anyone that would do something like that. But it is a possibility. It is a possibility. So there you go.
I've got 2 season tickets, so I can get 12.
You got 12. I've got 4.
Gary, you've got 4, mate. Come on, look at this. We can empty the stadium out. Let's do this.
Send the police around. You know, far too many kids, mate.
Yeah, what's going on here?
Yeah. So, where are we going? That's all done, right? Yeah, that's all done. So we know, right? That's all sorted. We know we're going to play. Who's going to start? That's me and Martin's team, obviously, right? We know we're going to win. We know Wilson's going to score.
This is the lineup again, just for everyone that wondered. Yeah.
Diouf, somebody suggested as well that AWB should go on the left to replace Diouf. No way. No way. Diouf is immovable.
You need him in. I mean, I'm not sorry, just for his ability to whip in across. You want Diouf playing there, absolutely.
You've got to admire the left foot of that lad. Nobody.
But I get the thinking behind that, though. I do, because Kudus up against AWB, that would be a difficult afternoon. You know, for Kudus.
Very
so I do understand that.
Unless he,
like glue, yeah.
I don't think he will take many risks at all because it'll all be on him if it goes wrong. But he could put KWP back there and play Diouf further up, couldn't he? And then just have Paquetá and Fernandes in the central midfield.
Maybe he'll play all of his defenders, including.
No. You're right. So if you go back to my team, right? So you're right. I mean, you could, in theory, you would just basically be replacing Somerville with Diouf, and then playing KWP left back. So you're actually right. That could work because then you've got Diouf coming back to help out. Because I don't know. I'm not convinced how good Diouf is defensively yet. I don't know is the truth. But we know going forward and whipping it across, he's got quality. But you know, him coming back, helping out KWP in the left back slot, that could work. So I do get the thinking behind that. It's not a bad shout, particularly bearing in mind that people are worried about starting Somerville from the start. So
for sure. So let's just quickly clarify something, just in case you missed the shows last week. All 3 of us are standing right behind Hammers United in this protest. First of all, it's on the the first protest is on the 20th against Palace, and it's outside the ground before the game. Not outside the ground, director's entrance round the back, just to make life a little bit uncomfortable and have a bit of a presence. It'll lend itself to some very good media footage, I would imagine. And then the real protest, which is not the real protest, that is one, but I think there's actually a march up to that point as well. But I don't know what the routine is. I'll find out and share it with you. Would encourage everybody that has a heart to do it to join it. The more people we have there, the better photos it will make, right? And it's important that it's seen as not I think when there was like 1,500 people outside the swimming pool, 1,500, 2,000 people outside the swimming pool, I think they put it down to as about 200 or something. They really took the piss. So we've got to make it absolutely undeniable. We need to use some sort of AI crowd head counting software to show exactly how many people are in the thing, in the protest. And then on the 20th, exactly a month later, on the 20th of October, it is the big one against Brentford, Monday night, live on Sky. That's where we want as small a crowd as possible inside the ground. Again, you know, if you genuinely don't want to do it, no one's going to have a dig at you. But the fact is, we want change, and it's a bit of a sacrifice. It's a one-off sacrifice. It won't be the end of the protest. We won't just do 2 protests and win. This has got to be a long-term strategy, exactly like it was against Newcastle. And protests will take different shapes. So don't worry about like having to miss loads of games or something like that. There are different ways of doing it, and other effective ways of doing it as well. But for these 2, it is director's entrance followed by abandonment of the Brentford game, live on Sky anyway, and you can watch it in the pub down the road. I'm going Black Line.
Yeah. I suspect that there will be other things that we can do, whether that means, not entering into the ground until, 15 minutes into the game. I think that would speak volumes. Can you imagine how empty it would be? It would be.
Yeah. I think going forward, that's definitely going to be considered, like the Newcastle strategy, because they did that over the long term. It's not that painful, especially, Martin, you're talking about what you're doing with the Arms Work Alliance about getting the atmosphere going before you get in the ground outside. Yeah. That'd be, I think, brilliant going forward.
That would be so effective, because that was so loud. You could hear that everywhere. And if that's going on not in the stadium for 15 minutes, that makes a big point, I think. That'd be the most effective way.
Playing bubbles at the beginning of the game and all the noises coming from outside the ground.
Yeah. Just singing balled out or whatever it's going to be. Yeah, it would be incredible. Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this all develops, because that's over a month away, that Brentford game. We were talking about it.
The Palace one's a few weeks, isn't it?
But you imagine we beat Spurs and Palace and get a draw or something at Everton. Suddenly that becomes harder to not go to the game, doesn't it?
Well, it does, but it becomes more powerful by not going.
That was going to be my point. Yeah. So I made a video about the ownership and the stadium move and everything, and I got loads of comments of people saying, "Oh, it's just because you've started the season badly." I'd like to actually be winning and still protesting, because that makes the point even stronger.
Oh, it does.
It does. If we were to beat Spurs and beat Palace and still not go to the Brentford game, that is worth twice as much as if we're losing in protest value, right? Steve, hope you're on the mend. It says that you are in the next game, so that's good. It's good that you're turning a corner. So that's been going on a while now, isn't it? Right, so that is the football done. So a couple of little bits of fun. Right, so as you know, I'm getting on a bit. I've got old. I'm getting very old, very, very old. I've got aching knees, back, arse.
You said you were 15 last week, Gal.
For some reason, I've got tennis elbow in both elbows, especially the right elbow. That's been worn down after many years of, all sorts of stuff. My eyes are fucked. I've got to get laser eye surgery, right? All sorts of stuff. Grey pubes, a lot. It's terrible. It's not in a good way. I've got a lovely pair of tits. That happens when you're a certain age and you put on weight.
I think the audience need proof of these grey pubes.
No, that's for a different type of show, Chris. Different type of show.
Is that for another time?
So look, I mean, my question to you all in the chat, and to you two, if you can think of anything, is there must be something fucking good about getting old, right? And also, if you could change a part of your aging body, what part would it be? 2 questions in one. Go on. Wow. I'll put it another way. You can get back that part of your body you had when you were 18, right? You get back that part of your body you had when you were 18, right? So have a think about it. And, you don't need proof. No, you don't need proof. Too much information. It's never too much information, Kat. You just got to understand the state I'm in, right?
You're not that bad. Come on, Gal. You run in and stuff, mate.
I'm trying to look after myself, but it's a fucking ever-increasing battle, Chris. Trying to do it, try my best. Everyone, once they get past a certain age, tries their best. I try my best. Too fucking late, though, isn't it?
Gary, you're doing very well. You do genuinely deserve some credit. All jokes aside, for what you're doing. I envy you in that respect. I need to do something like that.
I'm doing all right. And talking about retiring early, that is something I've I'm 56 now. I'd definitely like to retire by early 60s, definitely, or as soon as I can, really. But that's not the question I've asked. It's about what would you change on your body? What if you could get one thing back that you had when you're 18 or 20 or whatever? What would it be? Right. And secondly, the second part of that question is give me one good thing about getting old.
Well, I'll do it the other way around. The good thing about getting old is you just don't seem to care what people think anymore. Not, you're less worried about people's opinions and you just go with it. That's the best thing about getting old. I think experience gives you that. And the thing I would change is the sort of the stamina and energy. Let's put it like that.
Yeah. I'd personally exchange my tits for my 20-year-old tits. Yeah. I think you're right. I would agree with that. I've got really kind of cranky in once I turned 50, I kind of got a little bit selective. Like there's this excuse that you can make to leave somewhere early by saying I've got to be up in the morning. Fucking use that over and over again because I go along to the place. I have a couple of drinks. I give it half hour. I think I'm fucking bored. I'm going home. I used to stick it out until the end of the night. Didn't you?
Yeah, no, that has become harder as you get older. It's the hangovers as well. When you're young, you can just get up and go to work. But as you get older, it's almost impossible, isn't it? When you wake up at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
They're diabolical, diabolical. But 52, let's just say I've lived okay. What is it? I've aged okay, but geez, I ache. Head says I'm 19. Everyone's head says they're 19. Inside your head, you're still a teenager, aren't you?
Yeah, that's it.
This is true. But if I was going to say the same thing as you, Martin, with regards to not giving a shit, because I think that definitely does come with age and experience. And, as part of my job, actually, funny enough, I know you mentioned this the other day, is what would your 16-year-old self, if you could talk to your 16-year-old self, what would you say? And it would be, do you know what? Like, as the the great Ronan Keating said himself, who I saw in concert the other week, just got me thinking, life is a roller coaster. You just got to ride it. And I'll tell you something. I know it is, but I'm just you know what? Anyway, but it's true. The point is true, and I think look, I say it to my kids all the time as well. Just don't worry about all these little things because honestly, whatever is a problem now, it's not going to be a problem in a week's time or a month's time.
Yeah.
And you look back on anything that you worry about, or that you worried about in the past, you look back and you think, I didn't need to worry about it like that. I did not need to consume that much energy thinking about something like that. I have these conversations with young people all the time, by the way. And so that's what I for sure. I think that's what you get with age, definitely, is the experience to not really give a toss. And I don't generally care what people say about me, unless people have something to say about my family. That's different. But I think in terms of changing something physically in my body, Jesus Christ.
You can't change perfection, can you, Chris?
I would get rid of my belly, man. It's getting there. It's getting a bit big now. And I never used to have, like, it's mad. I used to be so slim. And I am still relatively slim, but it's all in the wrong fucking place. This fucking fat.
Can I just say, a lot of people have got to get rid of Chris, I'll come back to you in a second, but a lot of people have said this. Got your senior rail card this year. Sorry to hear that, Steve, because when that drops through my letterbox, that's going to be a very grim day for me. That's going to bring it all home to me. It's not benefit. It's a chore. I don't want it. I don't want it. Oh God, carry on, Chris.
I don't know what I'm saying. No, I want to get rid of my stomach, mate. That's it. Maybe get a bit of my hairline. Maybe my hair going. Like, I've got a bit. No, what I'm just saying that the McDonald's hairline thing that's going on here at the moment. My daughter reminds me of that on a frequent basis. I've got a McDonald's sign on my head, so maybe having that. I argue that I always had it, but I don't think I did. To be fair, so I'm going to go with the stomach thing. But thankfully, that is something that I can do something about. It is something I can do something about. So. Yeah,
this is a good point, actually. Rex Monday, best thing about my age is the era I've lived through. We saw the world and football, especially when it was quite a fun place to be. Football was fun. It was brilliant when I was younger. Yeah. And I cannot believe, I know kids love football the same today as they did then, but we had nothing else to do back then. There was like one telly in the house. There was no computers. There was nothing, there's nothing that, And so, especially in the 70s when I grew up, that was it. You either watched Dallas and Coronation Street in the front room with your mum and dad, or you watched nothing. So you had to go out and play football. Obsessed by football.
Yeah.
And I think seeing that period, and it was just like, you know, mid-70s, if you think about it, it's only like 30 years after the war ended, right? It's you still had around East London, you still had Brick Lane was just loads of ruins, loads of, you know, it's all been gentrified now. Went there the other day, right? But it was good to see that sort of be around and see that stuff, I think.
Yeah,
I think you fit the nail
playing football.
Yeah.
I used to play football until like you literally couldn't see the ball. It'd be so dark.
Yeah. Cross the ball in. Where are you? No, you know what? That is so true, though, Gal. And I think, you know, technology and everything else that's evolved, you know, post 90s and everything else, and the, you know, shouldn't say it, but I hate it.
I think that's the winning comment so far, Rex. That's a good comment. Well done. Well done.
Yeah,
very true. Very, very true. Yeah.
We had no way of being contacted either. There was no distraction. You was just gone from the house, and then you came home, didn't you? No, they couldn't phone you or anything.
Do you know what I keep, Martin? Do you know what I keep getting at the moment, right? Because I know you're quite a heavy user of TikTok, but I'm seeing this popping up quite a lot, where you see these videos of these AI kids. They're saying, "Oh, you know, back in the 90s, it was like this. I bet in 2025 it's not," and all that kind of stuff. And every time I'm watching it's like, it's quite depressing, because I'm like, do you know what? It's true. But then, like, you don't really appreciate it until you get older. You look back and you think, fucking hell, man. Like, why, you know, it was amazing back in, you know, when I was a kid. I know I'm not obviously a 70s kid like you, Gal, but growing up in the 80s and 90s was amazing as well, because there was none of this, a lot of this crap that we get nowadays. There's none of that.
I grew up in the 70s and the 80s, to be fair, because I grew up, my growing up time was really 75 to 85.
Yeah.
So I covered both. And I loved
You
them
had a
both
great
as well.
era. I'm jealous, actually. I'm jealous in the sense that you got to live through the 80s, where you're at an age where you can go out and enjoy yourself. Because I was too young to go out and enjoy myself, like party and stuff like that in the 80s. I'd have loved to have done that, because I think that was a fantastic era. But then, having said that, I also think that the 90s was an amazing era as well to live through.
Oh, it was. It was. I'll tell you what, playing football with a tennis ball, we'd play football with bloody anything. Didn't matter what it was. As long as it was round.
A can, if it had to be.
Oh God! Anything.
I tell you what else I used to love about being a kid as well is, like, you go and knock for one of your mates, and then it would be two of you, and then you'd say, right, let's go and knock for so and so, and they wouldn't be in, and you'd say, all right, let's go and try so and so, and the group would just slowly get bigger and bigger. You couldn't ring anyone really. You could on landlines, but you was out and about, weren't you? And you just didn't have a clue who you was going to find. You'd end up with like this great group for the day. It's brilliant.
It happened all the time, didn't it? That sort of thing. It was different. I used to just say to my mum, I'm going out. Where are you going? I'm going around the back. Just go field around the back. Just end up somewhere completely different. And like you said, just come back in later at some point. No one ever sent someone to look for you or wondered where you'd gone or anything like that. You just, even the dog. We used to just open the front door and let the dog out. It took himself for a walk.
You used to like leave your front door open, didn't you? Like, I remember my street, everyone just had their door open, like not even shut.
Steve's made a good point here. Knock down ginger.
Yeah,
people don't do that anymore, do they? They were good times. They
were funny.
It was funny.
That adrenaline rush.
Some miserable old person. Everyone knew where the miserable old fucker lived, didn't they? Go and knock on their door and run away just for kicks.
My dad, he told me, because my dad was born and bred in East Ham, and the roads that he used to live down were some of the roads were quite narrow. And he told me when he was a kid, what they used to do is they used to get string and they used to tie it to one knocker and to the other side, the other side of the road, the other door knock, and they do it like consecutively. So when a car drove through, it was like everyone's doors were knocking as though the cars were going through.
Chopper. Did you have a chopper or a chipper?
Yeah.
You had a. What do you have?
I had a chopper and I had a Diamondback BMX as well. I love BMX.
A grifter as well.
No.
I didn't have a grifter. A girl's bike, isn't it? A girl's bike. Yeah.
The other thing is the summer holidays. When you was a kid, the summer holidays seemed like an eternity.
I know.
And now, like, the kids finish school and they're like, it seems like you go to work for a few days and they say, oh, we've got to get the new school uniforms and that. Yeah. It's just over in a flash, isn't it? When you're young, it's just time.
Summer holidays were endless, weren't they? They were endless. You'd be going down the park, like you said, Mark, Martin, every day playing football, and just as you say, coming back at whatever time of the day. It was never an issue, was it? It was never ever an issue, and not being contactable, not having a phone, not having social media on this nonsense. That was
I
was
do
a
feel
beautiful
for the
thing.
kids being contactable all the time like this, right? Because
Mhm.
I never got I got my first mobile when I was like 17 or something.
Mm.
So I had all those years unconnected, and it was a few years later till we started using the internet at home, like dial-up, which was a bit of a, all that sort of stuff.
Get off the phone. Get on the internet.
You had to use the phone line, didn't you? Use your fucking phone line to do it. Sally James, yes, a lot of blokes had a thing for Sally James. Saturday mornings.
Sally James, don't think I remember that.
No, my 80s fancy. Right, who did you fancy in the 80s? What bird was proper? Your cup of tea in the 80s?
Me, Susanna Hoff, of the lead singer of who was Susanna Hoff, the lead singer of Walk Like an Egyptian? What are they called?
Bananarama.
Bangles, the Bangles.
Oh, Bangles. Yeah.
Susanna Hoff was hot.
I'll tell you my one. My one was Kayla Brock when I watched Weird Science and Woman in Red. Oh, she was something special. What about you, Martin?
I'm struggling to think of one.
No, leave it out, mate. Come on. No, is your missus watching this or something? I mean, what's going on?
Honestly, nothing's springing to mind at the moment. I'd just be making it up if I said something.
Linda Lusardi. Linda Lusardi. That's a classic, that is. I remember.
Piggyback fights, John McCarthy, not gay in brackets, just in case people were wondering. My mate Wassy was built like a fucking buffalo, unbeaten to this day. So you still do piggyback fights now, John? Is that what you're saying? So did anyone play runouts? Yes, played runouts. Also played rounders at school, which the Americans would know as baseball.
Rounders was a great game. Loved Rounders.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Yeah,
you only ever played it at school, though, didn't you? You wouldn't play it out with your mates out the park.
It
wasn't a school thing.
No chance. You ever been to baseball? You ever been watch a baseball game?
No, not live. I haven't. No.
I have. I went dog day at the Houston Astros. The Houston Astros. It's inside this big dome, and it's air conditioned inside, so 90 degrees outside in Texas summer, inside freezing, lovely, beautiful. And the game went on forever. It was so dull. Apparently, I saw a home run, which is apparently a rare thing to see. Right? It was just, it just weren't the thing, right? It just weren't. It was like watching. To me, I like one day cricket. I don't like Test match cricket so much because it just drags and drags and drags. It's fine when it's on the telly in the corner of the room, but not when you're sitting at a live event. Add beer, add hot dogs, but it was bring your dog day, so people did bring their dogs, and they shat all over the stadium.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Do you reckon those all going? Sorry, do you reckon those all going? Look at that English tourist with his half and half scarf.
Yeah, where's his dog? Where's his dog? I was going to get one of those hats with a beer where you put the beer on top and it comes down.
Oh, yeah.
I figured I'd look like a tourist. Linda Lusardi, Sam Fox, who released some really ropey music but ended up being big in Germany. Charlie's Angels. Charlie's Angels, one of them, the dark-haired one, forget her name. Sabrina, wasn't it? Sabrina? I don't know, fuck knows.
Gosh, it's too long out for me.
Anyway, whatever. Christy Brinkley, Sally Thompson. Oh, yeah, Sally Thompson in Man About the House. Yeah. I think.
Kayla Strachan. Jesus, man, really?
Have you seen her now? You'd change your mind, Eamon. You'd change your mind.
Yeah, to be fair, I think most of these women that we've mentioned, we probably change our mind now when we look at them because they've all got to be about 60 or 70, haven't they?
Did you ever have peroxide blonde? Did you ever have highlights?
Who?
You two?
No.
Me neither.
I never really had hair.
I did once. I did once dye my hair stupidly. It was just a moment of utter madness, and it was meant to go blonde when I was like, it's so sad, and it went ginger, and then it was just horrific. I had to dye it back straight away.
I must admit, it wasn't a big baseball game that I went to see, so I'm not taking the piss out of baseball. I know people love it, but the thing is, it's all stats based. Even in the ground, it's fucking stats based. It's just stats everywhere, and I don't know what they mean. So what's the point?
I've got to Google this Sally Thompson. I need to check this out. Oh my God, really? No.
That is the one in Man About the House, isn't it?
Is that her there?
Yeah, but she was nice. She was nicer in the sitcom. She's got big set of gnashers. Apple for a letterbox she could eat.
She's like the female Rob Beckett.
Yeah, she is. She could eat an apple for a letterbox without a shadow of a doubt. This does it for me as well. Uma Thurman in Pulp Fiction, definitely good choice. Barry Krishnan.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, definitely. Vampy look, I like it. Right, so that's it. Where are we? We're on 1 hour 14.
Margaret Thatcher.
Margaret Thatcher.
I saw that one. Yeah.
You want it to be strict with you, do you, Brian?
Yeah.
Use the stern voice. The lady's not for turning and all that shit. He's kind of martial unknown. No.
Sorry, Gal, just to confirm, right? So this was your fancy bit back in the day?
No, it wasn't. I just didn't mind her. That's all. In a moving picture, she looks better than she does in the black and white photo that you just.
Yeah, look, check out what she looks like now, Gal.
Oh my God!
Sorry if I just ruined that for you.
I couldn't believe I see Pamela Anderson, a picture of her the other day. What she looks like now? Have you seen her recently?
Yeah, I watched the new Naked Gun movie the other day. Actually.
Oh yeah, of course you did. Yeah.
But to be fair to the girl, I mean, she's not wearing makeup. Fair play to her.
Yeah, there are too many men in this.
Sounds like you are there, Martin. You know,
Kat, Claire, and the other two.
Yeah, go. All right, Kat. Who did you like back in the 80s?
Level it up.
Go on. Who was it, Kat?
Claire's going.
Don't say Philip Schofield or anything like that.
Carol Vorderman.
Yeah, Carol Vorderman. The young Carol Vorderman.
The young Carol Vorderman. There was a period where she looked really nerdy, and then she got she was. I don't ever think she was attractive. But then she got a bit better, and then she got a bit. I don't know.
I don't mind the nerdy look. No, nerdy looks all right. Yeah.
Go on, in Kat. I'm interested. Got Kat,
Claire.
Go on, stick him out there.
Right, 80s perm. Did you ever have a perm? I had a perm.
I definitely didn't. Oh, you must have a picture. Have you got a picture?
You had a perm, Gal?
Yeah, only for a day.
What happened?
You remember, if you were familiar with the 70s, you're familiar with Bodie and Doyle. The perm. Doyle made the perm really fucking fashionable, right? In the late 70s. So my dad come home, fucking hard nut. He wants to have a perm, right? So he has a fucking perm. My mum does it with a home perm kit and everything else. Anyway, a couple of perms in, I'm sort of looking at it thinking, I fancy some of that. Right? So I said to her, go on, get a perm. So she gave me a perm. And the following day, I went into St. Mary's and St. Michael's in Stepney, and I got called out by a nun at the front of the class. She said something really passive aggressive, like some parents take their children to a women's hairdresser to get their hair done. Anyway, that was it.
I mean,
a
perm girl. You know what I'm going to ask you here, mate. Have you got any photo evidence?
Yeah,
no, but I do have one of me dad with the perm, right? Just as proof. And I was looking at me. We always looked up to me dad, and I thought, well, that perm looks all right, doesn't it? And we're big fans of the professionals, Bodie and Doyle, top drawer.
Chris, that's your job for tomorrow. Can we get an eye?
I can do that. I can knock that up in minutes, mate. Don't worry about that. Do you know? Just
can we make him look a bit younger as well?
Yeah.
So what we're looking for is Penfold with a perm. Is that what we're going?
Is that Eric Estrada. That was Chips, wasn't it? That was Chips, the California Highway Patrol.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they are. Claire had a perm in the 90s. See, you can get away with it. You're a girl.
Exactly.
I shouldn't have done it.
Not for a geezer.
I've regretted it ever since.
Lee Brennan. Who the hell's that? I don't even know who that is.
Daisy Duke. And that's it. I think we'll surprise you getting a perm. Sorry, you pouring. Did your West Ham mates give you a lot of stick? West Ham? No, it was only for a morning. It was just like I had a perm for a day. Realised I'd fucked up and got my mum to cut it.
How long was your hair, Gal? Like, it must have been pretty long to have a perm.
It was just before my mum used to cut her hair, right? Because we were poor. She used to cut her hair. She was quite good at cutting hair, actually. But so it was quite long. It was due a cut. I thought, instead of having a cut, just stick a perm in. Jeez. You can use the leftover ammonia and shit that you used on my dad's hair.
Whilst we're talking about dodgy looks here, did either of you have any piercings or anything like that when you were
never
younger?
Had one. Or a tattoo? No, never.
Okay. No, I haven't. No piercings, no tattoo, no hair.
Right. I think we're done, aren't we? 1 hour 20. That's not bad, is it?
It's all right, mate. We said an hour, but an hour and 20s, yeah.
Well, it's closer to the target than last week, isn't it? Did I ever have a mullet? No, and I never would because I've always despised that haircut.
It's hideous, isn't it?
It's
It's
the worst
coming
of
back in
haircuts.
again though now, girl. It's a lot of youngsters have got them now.
I don't care. It's the worst of all haircuts. Hated it.
Is that what Anthony Gordon's got?
He did have it, but now it's turned into. He's actually, I don't know. It looks like it's turning more into a perm at the moment, like based on what I saw the other
Felicity
night.
Kendall. Yeah, she was nice.
We didn't mention Bowen, did we? Coming on for England. Did you think?
Bowen, how did he do? Because you two watched it, and I turned it off for 20 minutes. Turned it off before he came on. So how did it go?
He was really one-touch, lively. When he couldn't get the ball on the right, he was sort of went and found it on the left. He was all over the place, really trying to make a good impression.
I thought he did well. Yeah, I thought he did. He didn't make any mistakes, did he? And but the annoying thing about it is, it's like what were you 4-0 up, or was it 5-0 up by this point? And then you stick him on. I mean, for good, I don't understand why he didn't get some game time against Andorra. Because if you look at the two games, you've got Andorra and then you've got Serbia. Serbia's going to be the harder game, out of the two. And so I thought, is he going to get a chance? But I think had we not been 5-0 up or 4-0 up or whatever, he wouldn't have got on that pitch. I just don't think. I think there is that kind of favouritism for me towards these Chelsea players, some of the ex-Chelsea players that Tuchel used to manage. Because for me, I don't think Mikey. I genuinely, I don't think he's not a touch on Bowen. He's not, in my opinion.
No,
Bowen offers a whole lot more than he does, but sadly,
I look at this in a really straightforward way, right? If Bowen can do it for a team like West Ham that's always struggling, create chances out of nothing and take the few chances that he gets, of course he can do it for England. Yeah, and he's fully committed to England as well. He ain't got his head in the clouds, right? It's an honour for him to play for England, not an expectation.
Well, that's the frustration, because you see players like Madueke, right? And he scored a decent goal, against Serbia the other night.
Madueke.
I said Madueke, but Madueke is also. I remember that when we play Arsenal next. But no, Bowen. If Bowen was playing at full 90 minutes against some of these teams, he would be scoring goals as well, and then some. He'd probably be scoring more. I mean, you look at the amount of goal. I think you were reading off the stats the other night on this, mine, weren't you? The amount of goal involvements that Madueke's had versus Bowen. It's poles apart. So it's not the way players aren't being picked based on form or talent. In my opinion, they're not.
They're being picked on being in the squad for a Champions League side. That is it, right?
Yeah,
that's how the young kid from Arsenal, the fullback who was in the youth team, got somehow into the England side. How does that happen? You've got to prove yourself. You've got to prove you've got heart and want to play for England, haven't you? Not just play for a Champions League team. So you get it as a kind of, it's just expected, like another gong.
Yeah, no,
I think it's part of the England problem as well. They just keep giving people. They keep changing all the players in every position, apart from like this set in stone like Kane. But I thought Bowen's such a good player, though. I think we're just about to see something different from him, like an extra level. Like looking at that Forest game where he dribbled through and had that Wilson took it off his foot.
That was different class. I honestly only watched that back once because it made me sad.
Yeah. And I just think there's something about him, the energy, the ball control. It's just suddenly stepped up another little notch. I think we're in for a good season with him.
I think it also means a lot more to players like Bowen when they've gone through this kind of unconventional route to the top. He's obviously he did that. Yeah, Hereford to Hull to West Ham, and then you get players like Lewis Skelly or whatever his name is, who's come through the Arsenal youth team straight into the England team. I think that's the level of appreciation. It's that level of appreciation and pride of playing for your country. I think is unparalleled. Not all the time, of course, but in my opinion, with Bowen, it means everything for him to represent his country, and he deserves to represent his country. But
this is what every single fucking manager of the last, God knows how many managers, even people like Roy Hodgson, they would rather pick Champions League players who have got a limited appetite to play for England than people who desperately want to play for England and have probably more quality. Why don't they see this? Why don't they see it like every bloody fan sees it?
Like Anderson, look how well Anderson played. He just took that opportunity. He was sort of running midfield. It was excellent.
Yeah, it is true. I don't think England stand a chance. Honestly, I don't think they stand a chance at tournaments. I think our defence is too weak. And I just don't think we always call and play the right players, in my opinion. I just don't think we do. Certainly the players on form.
She's got 15 tats and 10 piercings.
Oh, wow.
Bloody hell, Claire. That's a lot. That's a lot of piercings. I'm too much of a wuss to get piercings. But you're double R, didn't you, Claire? Because you can look backwards now. You're an owl since you had your neck fixed.
I had a piercing done once. Like, it was over a day. It wasn't even a day. It was someone that I was seeing at the time when I was at university, and she said something like, "Oh, you should get pierced. I'm not going to get that done or whatever." She goes, "Yeah, you're too scared to get it done." I was like, "All right, sod you then." So I went in and got the piercing done up here. I don't know where it was. It was here or there. It looked hideous. And then I took it out straight away. I said, "There you go." It's like blood coming out of my ear. It was horrible.
I bet Claire has been one of these nutty girls in the past who's fucking pierced her own ears. I can tell. I bet she has.
Definitely.
I bet she's gone for the hot needle straight through.
Gary, my missus done that. Amanda done that.
That is not.
Well, actually, no. Amanda didn't do it. My sister-in-law did it for us. Amanda's sister did it for her, and they used. I don't know what they done. They just.
If Claire ain't done that though, Amanda's harder than Claire. Double hard.
Oh.
Yeah. Right.
You skipped through them comments quick. Sorry to keep going, but I think it was Kat said about Bowen. That was the stat that I read the other night. It's amazing.
He has more goal contributions from April until now compared to any Premier League player playing for a shit team.
Yeah.
I thought he was only second. I thought he was only second to Salah. I thought. I don't know if that's true.
No, it's any English player. I think it's not any Premier League player, but
any Premier League player, he's number 2 behind Salah.
It's amazing.
Well, that's amazing. Yeah.
This is the trouble. He can hit world class level, but he'll never be called world class, the poor sod, until he plays for a fucking Champions League team.
Yeah.
Right. That's the downside. That's the downside of this environment we live in. Right.
So much in his locker. Do you remember that overhead kick as well against? Who was that against? One of the European semi-finals.
Was that Leverkusen?
Claire had her own ear gun. No, of course you did, Claire. Of course you did. See, I'd end up.
Guarantee that.
You know when you're trying to do something and you kind of pull away at the last minute, I'd end up fucking digging a hole in the side of my face or something because I bottle it out. I bottle out.
That.
Don't like pain. Low pain threshold for me. See, women, how they go through childbirth and stuff, I don't know.
Someone I'd never get a piercing in my bollocks. What the hell? Christ almighty.
What?
That's taking it to a new level. I don't know. Something just flipped by. I'm glad you said ear, Chris, not bollocks.
Not a bollock. And yeah, some people do that, don't they? They fucking go through it. What's that one that was started by the old Queen Victoria's ex, the Prince Albert, where it goes through the Jap's eye?
Oh, yeah.
What's
that about?
Yeah. Imagine
that can give you nothing but grief. Surely, how is that good for anything?
Yeah, I know it's going to get snagged on all sorts of shit, isn't it? Right? It's going to get snagged.
No, that's just too much. That's horrible, mate. No, God no.
Right. Anyway, listen. On that happy note, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please could you? Bobby Moorstand on YouTube. Hit the bell notification icon and give the video a like because it helps us a lot. Thank you very much.
Thanks. I love the way you just switched that, by the way, just from talking about a piercing in your chap side to suddenly talking about if you would like to subscribe to the Bobby Moore channel.
I tell you what, like Claire says here, I've witnessed childbirth 4 times now. 3 times. It's fucking dreadful.
What's worse though, being kicked in the bollocks or giving birth? I mean, that's
definitely
quite...
being kicked in the bollocks without a shadow of a doubt.
I'm saying that too. Yeah, I'm saying that too. Yeah.
So, on that happy note, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Martin.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure as always.
Everybody in the chat for all your lovely comments. Thanks to all you watching. Thanks for Claire to modding, keeping it order in the chat. Hope you don't have to boot too many people out. And yeah, come on, you irons. We're going to beat Spurs. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. It's coming home. We're bringing that cup home on Saturday. All right. See you later. Good night. Come on, you irons.